So, the second playing game is the Pelicans against the Thunder, and I'm gonna do this fairly quickly because it's been a weird long day, and I just wanna kind of talk about it because I mean it's kind of my escape, right? Uh, I wanna escape from something, so I just talk basketball. Yeah, hey, at least it's somewhat healthy of a coping mechanism. I hope so. I don't wanna bring the mood down early on, but. Just some quick thoughts on this matchup. These teams have played each other fairly, close throughout this season and these last couple of seasons. And of course, it's gonna be Shea against Brandon Ingram, the two main guys. Who's gonna outplay who? Considering how Brandon Ingram has been playing these last few weeks of the season, and considering the defenders they have against him, whether it's Lou Dort, whether it's Jalen Williams, whether that's uh, who else could they put on him, really, right? Maybe Giddy gets some chances. Maybe I'm not even sure if Kendrick Williams is healthy, but I would think so. Maybe Jeremiah Robinson Earl gets a shot at him. I don't know actually. It's probably gonna be Lou Dort most of the time, right? And with the size advantage that Brandon Ingram has against him, it should be a fairly good matchup for him if he doesn't turn the ball over way too much. But his playmaking has been probably at his best all year at this time of best all year, maybe best of his career if you're being honest, right? And he's gonna have it much easier than Shea, in my honest opinion, who goes against Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. Whether you're gonna get some minutes against Najee Marshall, Josh Richardson, maybe. Yeah, you're gonna have, Shea's gonna want to hunt those switches because Herb Jones on him is a really good matchup for the Pelicans. The same goes for Trey Murphy, in my opinion. And it's gonna be good for them if they, slow Shea down, which they were able to do the last time. Even though he was still really good, they were able to slow him down a little bit, right? And it's gonna be intriguing to watch, who goes off. It's Jalen, Josh, and Shea, right? Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. All these three guys have a lot of tremendous potential, and I trust Josh Giddey a lot. Honestly, I think he has somewhat an ice in his veins, even though, of course, it's not as confirmed. But I just like how he plays, man. And of course, what also, I want to say, the 3 point shooting will be intriguing to watch in this game because last time both teams made just 9 3 pointers, both, of course, 18 combined, which is intriguing to say the least. And of course, the Thunder overall did have some turnover issues, but both teams did. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. I just kind of, I just kind of don't know what to expect with this one, man. Uh, I have no read on it really, right? I feel like the Pelicans have an edge with the way they've been playing, the way they have probably more size, more length, in my opinion, and the way, of course, Brandon Ingram has been playing. I feel like they just have the advantage, especially considering the matchups that I just talked about. Then I think they also have somewhat a better bench, even though both benches are kind of inconsistent. And I would say Isaiah Joe is the X factor there. If he's able to knock down those three balls, it's gonna be real huge for these Thunder. And if anybody else is able, able to chime in, of course, that's gonna be huge. But we just don't know yet, and it's just rough. It's just rough to predict this one, honestly, for me. For other games, I've had a solid read, right? I was going into it with some of the clarity why I think is going to win, why I think they're going to win. But in this one, I just kind of, my logical signs are pointing me at the Pelicans. The way they've been playing, Ingram has been just better than Shea these last couple of weeks, and it just feels like, at home playing this well, you're gonna win. But something about this Thunder team just has me believing they can do this, and there's no other logical reason that I just like a lot of the players they have. I just like what they're made of, what the team is all about, right? How they play the game, how they hunt mismatches, how Shea gets to his spots, how a lot of these guys play the same way where they get to the lane, get a lot to the rim, and just play around the rim a lot, which of course should work pretty well against these Pelicans with Jonas Valanciunas out there. and Larry Nance probably for small ball. But at the same time, it's just a pick 'em for me. I don't know, man. I kind of convinced myself on both teams already, and I'm expecting a really close matchup, and it's probably more about who I trust in the clutch more. And with that, I'm also not sure. I think both teams have had their moments in the clutch. I'm not sure who played more clutch games. Actually, let me check the clutch stats if I'm able to. Teams clutch stats. Let me see. Let us do some statistical investigating. But it's kind of a pick 'em in my opinion either way for me. So, where are the Pelicans? Let me see. Oh, they are right next to each other. While the Thunder have played more games, they also have the same amount of wins, which is kind of hilarious to me. So, could it be advantage Thunder that they have at least played more games even though they lost more, or is it advantage Pelicans that they are somewhat better in the clutch in a way, right? That they won the same amount of games in less games. I don't know, man. Who am I trusting, man? Who am I going to pick based off this? I'm gonna pick the Thunder to upset the Pelicans tonight, man. I just like the team a lot, and hey, man, sometimes it's feelings over facts, maybe, but I think a lot of the facts are pointing towards just a close matchup that is hard to predict, while the Pelicans should be probably the favorites on paper with how they've been playing. I feel like when you look into the numbers and when you also just look into it plainly, just look at the players, the matchups, and just think. Or at least for me, it's just a pick 'em. It's just a lot of things that go one way or the other, right? One thing goes for OKC, the other thing goes for the Pels. This is, and there are a lot of things that are just somewhat fairly balanced between these two teams, where you're like, yeah, this could go either way. Yeah, this could pretty much be the same, right? They could have the same amount of turnovers. They could hit the same amount of 3 pointers. The one thing that should be noted is that actually the Thunder out rebounded the Pelicans the last time, even though the Pelicans should kind of be more lengthy and size, but at the same time, the Thunder should be somewhat more athletic, but it's really close at the same time. Damn, this is nasty. This is weird. Has never happened to me actually. I've usually been confident in who I'm picking, expect that it's for my team because I don't want to jinx them, right? We're all not that we're all, but a lot of people like me, or just when we go to stereotypes, a lot of us believe in jinxes, right? And a lot of us just are scared to jinx our team, right? We always do a lot of things to make sure we don't jinx our teams, right? We don't bet on them, we don't talk about us being confident and winning. We try to do everything possible to not jinx our teams. So my read on this is just kind of weird. So I'm gonna go with the team I kind of really love throughout the season, and that's the Thunder, man. I love how they played throughout the whole season while the Pelicans have had their injuries. If Zion was healthy, we wouldn't even be talking about it. But that's just not the reality of the situation. And I'm gonna pick the Thunder tonight in a really close game, Shea game winner. Yeah, let's go. Tell me your thoughts if any of this makes sense, any of this was fun to you. Yeah,